it's Katie here from the Scrappy Sisters, and I am up today participating in Kitaholic Kits Australia Day Cyber Crop. So it is a crop that's happening for one day only, and I am the last video of the day. So I am taking on the Mixed Media Challenge, and I think you might have seen at least one other video go up for this challenge today. So the Mixed Media Challenge is to create a project that has 3 items from either paint, texture paste, glitter, embossing powder, stencils, sprays, or watercolours. Excuse me. So I am using my Vicky Bouton Foundations paper as my base, so I didn't need to prep it. It's already designed for mixed media use. It's quite a lot thicker than regular cardstock. And I'm coming in with my acrylic paint. These are the Dilutions paints. Don't ask me for the colours. I can't remember off the top of my head. If you really want to know, leave me a link down below or comment down below and I will let you know. But they're blues. One's periwinkle blue, pretty sure. But I don't remember what the other one is. They used to come in these pots, but they now come in little containers that you can like squeeze out the paint, which I think is better because it doesn't dry up so fast. And then I pulled out my Vicky Bouton iridescent glaze and a stencil, a 12 by 12 stencil that I purchased from scrapbook.com, and I'm just using my Nuvo spatula to push some iridescent glaze through the stencil, just in a few parts, just to create that kind of, it's like a dot stencil. Or actually, yeah, it's a dot stencil. And then I came in with my stickles that my sister gave me, Jess, for Christmas this year as part of our Scrappy Advent calendar. Initially, I was just going to add like a couple of little kind of areas of stickles, and I've never used stickles before. This was the first time, and then I just decided that I was going to cover the entire painted section in stickles. So stickles, if you haven't used it before, it's glitter basically in a glue medium maybe, or like a clear medium, so it dries clear and you can just see the glitter. So I'm totally counting this as glitter, by the way, as one of the prompts. So I've used paint, I've used glitter, and then I've used the iridescent glaze, which you could include as texture paste, and I've used a stencil. And so yeah, I cover the entire sheet. Just the painted section in glitter, in stickles. And now I hadn't let my iridescent glaze texture pastes through the stencil dry, so it did smudge a little. If I was going to do this again, I would have dried off that stencil, but I hadn't, as I said, planned on covering the entire page with stickles. And now, to finish off my mixed media background, I'm actually coming in with some splatters. So this is the navy Heidi Swap Colour Shine, and then I'm going to come in with the Liquitex acrylic ink in white. So you can see me here, and I just use a little fan brush and just adding my splatters. So I've used sprays, which I use for splatter. I've used my stencil, I've used glitter, I've used texture paste, and I've used paint. So I totally nailed this challenge. Now I have let this dry. I did actually let it dry overnight, just because I wanted to make sure it was completely dry, just because there were a lot of layers on there. And I am using the last little scraps that I have of a few different Cocoa Vanilla Studio, more of their, I don't want to say boy collections, but more of their kind of boy themed collections. And so I've got these photos, a series of photos of Jess and her 2 boys and Lincoln, and I'm not in any of them actually, but I was there too at the park. So there's lots of, we were on a swing and a slide, and we just had a lot of fun. And so I wanted to put, I started off thinking I'd put 4 photos on a layout, but I actually ended up putting 5 photos on this layout. So I've got 4 here that are 3 by 4. I trimmed them down just ever so slightly because I wanted to fit them. I had one full sheet of 6 by 8 paper left from the Boys Rule collection from Cocoa Vanilla. The rest is just scraps. And so I wanted to fit all 4 of those photos onto that. So I had to trim them down slightly. And then I had one photo which I trimmed to 2.5 by 2.5 maybe. And that I do end up putting in the middle like that. Now, this is my little tub of random embellishments that I sort of have left. I have a few more other bits and pieces, but it's a combination of totally rad Boys Rule. I don't remember what the other collections are called. It's about 4 of their older collections, and I've only got tiny bits and pieces left of all of them. So these here are washi strips, which I put onto white cardstock and cut them. So they were more like paper strips. And then these are some chipboard. Now I think these are from Totally Rad actually. Someone else will correct me if I'm wrong. And I'm just creating 4 clusters actually. And my title is the word play, which I've got in wood veneer here. Now, funnily enough, I actually think these are from a Kitaholic Kits kit many years ago when I was on the design team, and I hadn't used them yet. It was from the Boys Rule collection, I think. And yeah, so I'm using up my scraps, people. I'm trying to absolutely kill the sort of what I have left in these boy type collections, because if you didn't watch our goals video in January, we posted it sort of the end of January. One of my goals this year is to kind of do a one out, one in scenario with my collections. So I'm trying to use up a collection before I buy a new collection. And in fact, I'm trying to use up kind of scrappy items in general before I buy anything new. So I'm not saying no purchasing, that I could never, I could never do that. But I'm definitely trying to sort of that whole, one out, one in scenario. So I'm desperately trying to use up those collections that I have left that are almost done, which is probably a little bit like cheating, because then I'm going to get to sort of my full collections and have to kind of work really hard at finishing full collections before I can purchase another one. So I'm giving myself some easy wins earlier in the year, I'm hoping, but then later in the year I think I'm going to really struggle. Anyway, I am putting these clusters, not collections. I've got collections on the mind, these clusters together. And I have sped this up a lot, guys, and I'm so sorry, but this took me quite a while to finish, particularly the mixed media section. So the whole video was, it was about 45 minutes to an hour long. So I've sped it up 4 times, which is a lot more than I usually do. But that's okay. Hopefully you can see enough of the process. Now, go and check out the Kitaholic Kits page. They'll be linked down below. Even if this is past Australia Day when you're watching this, and for those playing at home, Australia Day is the 26th of January, there will be a kind of I think there's 6 challenges. Should I count them before I say there's 6? Let me count them for you. Let's see, hey? Let us see how many there are. Sorry, I'm looking it up on my computer. I don't want to tell you the wrong information. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, there's 8. Right, there is 8 challenges, and they are some really good challenges, guys. So even if you're looking for inspiration on, things to get your crafty mojo going, and the crop itself has already finished, I would still encourage you to go and check out the challenges, because personally, I find challenges a really good kind of way to start my creativity. All right, so that is it. The layout is all finished. Here is a close-up photo for you. Thank you so much for playing along. Please go and check out Kitaholic Kits. They'll be linked in the description box down below. And thank you for watching, and we will see you in our next video. All right, thanks guys. Bye.